It started with a 911 call that made my blood run cold. "There's a man dragging dangerous equipment into our neighborhood," the voice shrieked. "Kids could die." That equipment. A $50 plastic slide I was setting up in my backyard for my 6-year-old daughter, Lily. We'd just moved into our weekend lake cabin, a dream I'd scrimped and saved for, and Lily was buzzing with excitement to make the place her own. But before I could even anchor the bright blue slide under the oak tree she'd picked out, a woman I'd never met stormed across my lawn, screaming about safety violations and community standards. Her name was Claudia Hensley, self-proclaimed president of the Willow Creek HOA, and she wasn't just upset, she was out for blood. This wasn't about a slide. It was about power, and I was about to uncover a dark web of fraud that had terrorized families for years. Lily and I had arrived at the cabin that sunny afternoon, her eyes sparkling as she pointed to the perfect spot for her slide. "Can we put it right there, Daddy?" she asked, practically bouncing. I was hauling the slide through the gate when Claudia appeared like a hurricane in khakis. Her clipboard was a weapon laminated, tabbed, and color-coded like something out of a Pentagon war room. A laser level, measuring tape, and a camera hung from her belt, making her look more like a building inspector than a neighbor. "Stop right there," she barked, her voice sharp enough to cut glass. "What do you think you're doing?" I froze, slide in hand, as she introduced herself with the pomp of a dictator. "I'm Claudia Hensley, Willow Creek HOA president. Playground equipment requires architectural review and board approval." I tried to stay calm. "It's just a slide for my daughter. She's 6. Lily peeked from behind my legs, clutching my jeans, her excitement replaced by fear. Claudia didn't blink. "Bright colors violate our aesthetic guidelines," she snapped, eyeing the slide like it was toxic waste. "Willow Creek upholds strict standards to protect property values. As a data analyst, I'm wired to question claims without proof. Can I see those guidelines?" I asked. Her face twitched, then flushed red. "The rules are established standards," she hissed. "I don't carry paperwork everywhere." That's when I knew something was off. Any real HOA leader would have bylaws at the ready. Instead, Claudia pulled out her phone and dialed 911, loud enough for the whole block to hear. "This man's installing massive playground structures without permits," she told the dispatcher. "It's endangering children." Lily's small voice broke through. "Daddy, why is she mad about my slide? Did I do something bad?" My heart sank. I started recording on my phone, sensing this was spiraling into madness. Neighbors peeked from their curtains, watching but not intervening, as if HOA drama was the local sport. The police arrived 10 minutes later, and the officer's confusion was palpable. He glanced at the slide, then at Claudia, then back at the slide. "Ma'am, this looks like a kid's toy. What's the emergency?" Claudia ranted about property values, but when the officer asked for documentation, she stammered. "The rules are obvious community expectations." He turned to me, checked my property deed, and issued a warning to Claudia about false emergency calls. She stormed off, muttering about consequences, and I realized this was only the beginning. That night, with Lily asleep, I dug into Willow Creek's HOA. The website hadn't been updated since 2019. No board members were listed, no meeting minutes posted, and county records showed no recent elections. Most damning, the HOA had been dissolved in 2021 for lack of participation. Claudia was running a ghost organization. The next morning, a violation notice appeared on my door, demanding $300 for unauthorized colorful equipment. It looked official but lacked any legal details, no contact info, no appeal process. Lily saw me reading it and whispered, "Am I in trouble, Daddy?" I knelt down, forcing a smile. "Your slide's perfect, sweetheart. Some grown-ups make silly rules." But her joy was fading. She'd started peeking out windows before playing, scared of Claudia's wrath. A neighbor, Sarah Mitchell, approached me later, her voice low. "I saw what happened with Claudia. She's been terrorizing families for over a year." Sarah, a single mom, shared her own story. Her son got a fine for drawing chalk dinosaurs on their driveway. "I've paid $1,500 in fees," she admitted, "because I was scared of what she'd do." She showed me photos of her violation notices, identical to many official-looking, but hollow. The more we talked, the clearer it became. Claudia targeted families with kids, exploiting their fear of conflict. Sarah's words haunted me. The money disappears. No repairs, no services, nothing. I hit the county courthouse and uncovered a bombshell. The Willow Creek HOA was dead, officially terminated. Claudia had no authority. Bank records revealed she'd opened an account under Willow Creek Community Fund, with herself as the sole signatory. Over 2 years, she'd collected $63,000 in fees, spent on personal luxuries, mortgage payments, a new car, vacations. This wasn't overzealous rule enforcement. It was a calculated scam. Claudia wasn't just a bully. She was a crook running a neighborhood cartel. Her next move was a so-called emergency community meeting, framed as a defense against disruptive residents. The room buzzed with tension as 35 neighbors gathered, most looking scared, some expecting my public shaming. Claudia, in a pricey suit, took the stage like a prosecutor. "Our community is under attack," she declared, pointing at me. "The Harper family's defiance threatens our standards." She painted my slide as the gateway to chaos, pink houses, lawless kids. But her specifics betrayed her. "I've maintained firm control for your own good," she said, sounding more like a tyrant than a leader. Whispers spread as her vision of control unnerved the crowd. I stood, clutching my evidence. "Claudia, can you show us proof you're the elected HOA president?" "Election records, maybe." The room fell silent. Her composure cracked. "The secretary keeps those," she stammered. I opened my laptop, projecting the HOA's dissolution certificate. "There is no secretary. The HOA was dissolved in 2021. Gasps echoed as I revealed the bank records. $63,000 stolen, zero spent on the community. The crowd erupted. A veteran stood, voice shaking. "You fined me for my fence's color." An elderly woman cried. "You took $3,000 from us." One by one, residents shared stories of harassment, their anger replacing fear. Claudia's facade shattered. "These are forgeries," she screamed, but her voice broke. Then, in a chilling moment, she sobbed. "My husband said I was good at organizing. Since he died, this community's all I have." Her grief was real, but it didn't justify her crimes. As she wailed about losing her purpose, I realized we were dealing with someone unhinged, capable of anything. The aftermath was chaos. Claudia didn't back down, she doubled down. Gardens were trashed, mailboxes vandalized, targeting those who'd spoken out. The elderly woman's flowers were ripped apart, her wind chimes twisted. Then Claudia crossed a line I couldn't forgive. I heard Lily scream in the backyard, a sound that stopped my heart. I ran out to find Claudia looming over her, yelling, "Your slide's a hazard. Bad things happen to kids who don't follow rules." Lily was sobbing, pressed against the fence. My neighbor, just pulling in, froze, keys in hand, witnessing the madness. "No one threatens my child," I growled, stepping between them. Claudia's eyes were wild. "She'll get hurt if you don't respect authority." I sent Lily to her grandparents, her small nod breaking me. Claudia's harassment escalated: nighttime patrols with a flashlight, false complaints to city services, even spray painting traitors on Sarah's garage. Neighbors installed cameras, left lights on, fearing her more than any criminal. Sarah and I rallied the community, hearing heartbreaking stories. A couple threatened over a doormat. A mom told her toddlers were too loud. Claudia was stealing childhoods. Digging deeper, I uncovered Claudia's past. She wasn't just a local menace, she was a serial fraudster. Under the alias Catherine Brooks, she'd scammed Meadowbrook Village, 40 miles away, stealing $50,000 before vanishing. Her husband's 2017 death was real, but she'd milked it for sympathy, burning through a $200,000 insurance payout before turning to fraud. Meadowbrook victims described the same playbook: fake notices, kid-targeted threats, and vengeance when exposed. "She's dangerous when cornered," a mother warned. She threatened my daughter over mailbox drawings. Claudia's Pine Lake house was now for sale. She was planning her escape. With time running out, I organized a final meeting, inviting Meadowbrook victims, police, and media. The community center was packed, the air electric. Claudia strutted in, still clutching her clipboard, still claiming authority. "These lies are from agitators," she began, but the crowd wasn't hers anymore. I stood. "Why did you use the name Catherine Brooks in Meadowbrook? Why lie about your husband's death?" A Meadowbrook woman gasped. "You prayed with me, Catherine. Another shared her story of stolen savings and traumatized kids. I laid out the evidence. Dissolved HOA, $63,000 stolen, vandalism photos, threatening voicemails. The police moved in, cuffing Claudia as she stared at her clipboard, defeated. She was convicted of fraud, theft, extortion, and harassment, sentenced to 2 years in prison, and ordered to repay $115,000. Her house was sold to compensate victims. Willow Creek transformed. The elderly woman planted vibrant flowers, kids played freely, and Sarah's son rode his bike again. Lily slowly regained her spark, her slide becoming a neighborhood hub. Laughter replaced fear. Claudia's downfall sparked change. A county task force targeted HOA fraud, and new laws protected communities. But for me, it was about Lily asking, "Are we safe now?" I looked out at the quiet night and nodded. "Yes, sweetheart. We made it safe." A $50 slide had toppled a predator. If you suspect a fake authority in your neighborhood, document everything. The smallest stand can unravel the biggest lie. Share your stories below. Your neighborhood's drama.